Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Etihad, where it has finished. Manchester City 5, Norwich City nil. First away game where Norwich have had supporters in since March 2020, which is a bit mental, really. And I think, although it was nice to see the players go over and thank the fans, it wasn't really what everyone was hoping for. There were lots of tweets I saw before the game talking about people's hearts telling them one thing and their heads telling them the other. Heads definitely one. Shout out from Matt Usher there, who takes most of the pictures you'll see on the Norwich City social channels. He got a bit wet today, but I think he's drying out just about. This is a wonderful place to come and watch football. That's where the Norwich supporters were over there. It is a wonderful place to come and watch it, but you do have to kind of appreciate what you're up against as well, which I think is probably a fair point. And even watching Manchester City players in warm up, you can see the level that this club operates at is different gravy, really. I mean, I would imagine if you go through Manchester City's results in the past 3-4 years, there'll be teams that have gone close to winning the championship in other countries that have been thrashed here. I was looking at Pierre Lees-Melou. Had a really great time at Nice, but I wonder if they got thrashed here. It wouldn't surprise me if they did at some point. But there we go. Yeah, 5-0. It was 2-0 at half time. And I think it was probably 2-0 after about 25 minutes. I can't remember the exact moments of the goals, but there was definitely an element there where it was unraveling quite quickly. The first goal was quite early. That really already felt like that was that. And you're generally fearing it's going to be 4 or 5 at half time. Probably not helped by the fact the under-18s lost 10-0 at Aston Villa this morning, which is a very curious result that probably shouldn't really happen at that level either. Daniel Farke picked an unchanged team, which didn't really surprise me. I thought he hinted at it yesterday at Colney. And I can understand the logic given what Norwich are trying to do in terms of play catch-up and get minutes into legs. But this really didn't work in terms of whatever Norwich were trying to achieve in terms of being compact, being defensively sound, trying to give themselves a platform. There was none of that. And in fairness to Daniel Farke, he was fairly honest. They worked on how he listed it. Manchester City, they start on the left wing, they get it square across, they play in their right winger on the opposite flank, in behind the fullback, and then square the ball and score from a runner who ends for about 8 yards out. And Manchester City scored that goal 4 times today. And Daniel Farke was like, we worked on it. It wasn't the only thing we worked on, but we worked on it. And what do I do? And there's quite a challenging aspect of this game that Dimitris Giannoulis, who, as I said, was really promising against Liverpool the previous week, today was completely run ragged, basically, by Jesus, which was an issue in that sense. He comes off at half-time. Bali-Mumba gets a surprise Premier League debut. He then gets done twice as well. As a whole series of events to try and persuade everyone that Brandon Williams does need to be signed on loan for Manchester United, it was probably quite a worthwhile exercise. But Daniel Farke has to play it quite cute here because he can't lose his other options. And as much as Dimmy hasn't coped very well with it today, it wasn't necessarily his fault when Norwich were trying to at least keep the ball for a bit. I thought that other players maybe let him down at that point as well, because the midfield was borderline non-existent for a long period of time. And Norwich really had Manchester City did a great job of shutting down the way Norwich wanted to build out from the back. And that poses a big question of Daniel Farke too, because we saw it 2 years ago. Norwich didn't really evolve. And once people have figured it out, how to stop them, that was it, really. So Manchester City have shown quite clearly how to shut down the lanes that Tim Krul and the centre-backs like to build off. I don't see it working at the moment, them playing through the middle with Billy Gilmore either. Then, you've got to deal with that and come up with a slightly different way to make teams think about it. And there were elements against Liverpool early on where I thought they did, but the quality of the longer distribution from the back was awful today. And Norwich didn't have a lot of the ball in the first half, but the way they used it was borderline abysmal. And I think Lucas Rook probably paid the price for that, because he also went at halftime along with Giannoulis. And Daniel's got a bit of work probably to do to make sure that he either has the options that means that he doesn't need them, or that he can still call on them when Norwich don't play title contenders, which is going to happen. So, I'm trying to be really objective here, because the ultimate story is that Norwich are in the Premier League because they want to be in the Premier League. This is where they want to play. They want to play at this level. We all know how good they are. We all know all the money. We all know the backstory. We know how expensive everything is. We know Norwich can't compete on so many different levels. That's by the by, really, in truth. They are the frameworks where Norwich need to compete. Burnley went and lost 2-0 at Liverpool. So arguably that's a better result than Norwich achieved. Not every team is going to come here and get done 5-0. Now, that may depend on Manchester City's mood, may depend on how good the opposition are. And we're operating at the moment in a field where we don't know the context of everything, and that makes life difficult to offer a serious evaluation. But as the weeks pass, we will get to that point, and this will obviously come with its degree of context with it as well. I don't think I need to necessarily go through the goals, but the first one was an own goal. I think it was given to Tim Krul, but it basically came from Grant Hanley smashing it at him, trying to clear it. So, I mean, that's probably quite harsh on Tim, it feels. The second one then came off Jack Grealish's knee from a Jesus square pass. Max Aarons didn't manage to do much with that in terms of keeping the ball out, which was a shame. The third goal was Norwich struggling to deal with a corner. Wasn't the only set piece they struggled to deal with, but they generally got away with it. It could have been 3-0 before halftime, by the way. A VAR goal was disallowed for a foul on Milot Rashica, which was possibly slightly soft initially. Probably could have stood, but then, it could also have been given a foul, and I don't think anyone really cared or mattered either way. But yes, Laporte scored the third. Norwich, the ball hit Les Malou and Norwich didn't clear, so that would cause them an issue there. And then the fourth goal was Sterling being played in. Yes, the third goal was Sterling being played in. Fourth goal, absolutely archetypal Manchester City goal. And then the fifth had, bless him, Bali Mumba with his arm up in the air as Riyad Mahrez was quite clearly a yard onside, and then slotted past Tim Krul. So that kind of emphasised that, really. Norwich, of course, host Bournemouth in the Carabao Cup on Tuesday night. So a great chance for some other players to get a game and just get some legs and some minutes into them. But how productive it is in terms of building on where Norwich are 2 games into the Premier League campaign, it's kind of neither here nor there. I think there needs to be a degree of a reset, but also a degree of honesty about what this has been. And we can all see it. I was here, the end of 2 seasons ago when Norwich got done 5-0 and Kevin De Bruyne was unplayable. This wasn't really that. This was worse than that. And I heard someone just say that, you asked Daniel Farke that, you had some okay moments in this game, and how do you build on that? I have to say, I thought Norwich were pretty awful for the most part and outclassed. Outclassed is probably the best way to say, not awful, but outclassed. I felt like the moments where they had even a slight glimpse of goal were generally when Manchester City were just leaving them to it. And I thought they kind of got toyed with for 90 minutes. And that makes it uncomfortable. So hopefully that pain will inspire more of a reaction on the other side. Because, the caveats are there. We know where we are. This could quite easily be a really good grounding episode ahead of a season where Norwich stay up because they can beat 12 of the other teams in the Premier League, who I can assure you are not this good. So we will see. But other than that, I feel like going home. I'm going to get on the train. Don't ruin your weekend over it. We will all move on. It's a tick done. This team's going to go very close to winning the Premier League, if not the European Championship, the European Champions League again. So we'll see how it all plays out. But that is, for me, that is done. I will see you on Tuesday night, hopefully at Carrow Road. In the meantime, take care of yourself. Check out The Athletic. You know where all the stuff is. I will take down my banner, and you don't want to see that scoreline anymore, do you? And I will see you very soon. In the meantime, look after yourselves. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. Get your comments and questions in. I'll make sure I read as many of them as possible, and share this far and wide wherever you wish. Until next time, cheerio.